Hello, everybody. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but Quilla Long did an interview on NC Beat's platform today, and it was very powerful, I would have to say. I'm a little speechless, so I want to play it for you guys because I thought it was powerful. She expressed that her and her family's going through ups and downs emotionally. How she felt betrayed about Khalil, because at one point she really loved Khalil. And even last year, he went on a trip with them last October with her family and 10 of her cousins, and they all were with Khalil, and she really liked Khalil. But one of her cousins had a bad vibe as it related to Khalil. So there were people in the family, based upon her indications that one of the cousins said something wasn't right about Khalil, that they were hinted towards some concerns about Khalil. Because whether you guys know it or not, some of those friends that are fake, they do show their true colors. You will feel bad vibes or concerns about those individuals. You will feel something's wrong or something's off about the individuals. So I want to share this with you guys because I think it's going to really help us understand. Another powerful thing that Quilla did is she showed her vulnerability. She's really disappointed with the Black community, especially online YouTubers who are judging this family, telling this family, oh, she's not crying. If you guys are out there judging this family, you don't know what it feels like to lose somebody. How dare you judge somebody to say they're not crying enough? Don't you know they have to literally build up the strength to try to speak about their loved one, to get the word out, because they are fighting for justice in this? You don't know the times they're at home crying. And I'm not speaking to you guys. I'm speaking to the general masses. None of my subscribers. I'm just speaking generally, guys. So please don't, anybody in the chat, don't say, why is she mad at me? No, I'm just talking generally, guys. So please, not you guys. I'm just speaking in generalization. If there's anybody out there that is judging this family, saying, the mother's not crying enough, the family's not crying enough, nobody, if you have not lost a loved one in the tragedy the way they have, please leave your judgments to yourself. Spend your energy trying to advocate for this family. Spend your energy reaching out to the FBI, the Department of Justice, the Secretary of State, the entities in our country that can get the ball rolling. But don't put judgment on this family. And I really was empowered by her interview because, wow, did she show the vulnerable sides of her. So I'm going to play it for you guys. She also talks about, they don't like doing these interviews. People are like, oh, they're getting all this publicity. You think they like doing the interviews? They would rather cry and mourn in silence behind closed doors. But they are forced to be in the public eye so that they can fight for justice for their loved one. So that's just a summary kind of what she was talking about. But I thought this was one of the most captivating interviews we've seen from the family. So listen up. I'm about to play it for you. Right now. Okay, guys, so hold on.
Everyone, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the North Carolina Beat. This is your boy Gerald Jackson. It is such a pleasure that I have the opportunity to speak one-on-one over the phone with Shanquella Robinson's sister this morning, Quilla Long. This is a pre-recorded video. So to all of those who are watching, thank you so much. And don't forget to hashtag justice for Shanquella Robinson. Still to this day, it has not changed. We want Cabo Sits arrested, sent back to Mexico to do their time where they did the crime. And I want to just say thank you all so much for supporting this family. Thank you all so much for sharing Shanquella Robinson's story.
And right now, I want to say, Quilla, thank you so much for taking this opportunity to speak with me.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. How are you doing? Oh, go ahead.
every day is different. I'm not going to say every day. I'm going to say every hour, every minute, every second, because 2 days ago, what was it, Saturday? I was in a good mood Saturday. I'm kind of in a slump today. So every day is different. You know, I could be happy an hour from now, and an hour after that, I'm back in a slump.
Yeah. Wow. And I know that's hard, you know, for the simple fact that, you know, just thinking about everything that has transpired, you know, and the lies, you know, that were told, you know, to you and your family in y'all's face. How's mom doing?
Mom is the same. Everybody's pretty much the same. It's different every day for each of us.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
yeah.
How's Mr. Bernard doing?
His is pretty much the same too. He's taking it a lot harder, and I think that's more because that was his only child.
Yeah.
He had future plans, you know, we all did, but he especially wanted certain things.
Yeah. I just, you know, Quilla, is just so crazy how everything is transpiring, and I know a lot of things are being put out that's not true.
Right.
And I know, you know, we've spoken, you know, about these things, and it's like, where are these people coming up, you know, with these things? Now, I do want to ask you, you were there, before all of this went viral, you saw Khalil Cook, Dejanay Jackson, and Winter Donovan, and you spoke to them when they came to your house, right?
Yes.
Can you kind of tell me what was that conversation like?
Pretty much asking them what happened on the trip, and asking them pretty much what we heard happened, and of course they denied it. They sat here and said there wasn't any type of fight, no hands was thrown. You know how the young kids talk. I know I've seen people say that they came in here and they ate. I don't recall them. They didn't eat anything.
Right.
Actually. Yeah. We all had them in one room talking to them.
Right.
And I know that night, of course, if we knew then what we know now, they wouldn't have left my house, because it was nothing but family here. All hell would have broke loose. So you know they wasn't gonna come in here and tell us that they was fighting her.
Right.
They came, them girls came one night, and I believe that was Tuesday night. After that, we didn't see them anymore. Only person that kept coming was Quilla, and I think that was just more to get information to report back to them, to tell them what he knew or what we knew.
Yeah. He wasn't concerned at all. He just wanted to see what was going on.
Try to see what was going on. I see I got it. They got to know that somebody sent that video to somebody, half of it. So he probably was trying to see, have we seen it yet?
Possibly. And when they came over there, they told y'all alcohol poisoning.
They said alcohol poisoning, which we all were still skeptical about it. But us thinking that Quilla was a true friend to her,
right,
and we're going off of what he said, it kind of took everything away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we was thinking we could trust him and he would be honest with us.
Right. Because at the time you had no reason not to trust him.
Yeah, we had no reason not to.
Yeah, this is someone that's been on family vacations. I mean, and knowing your sister
for years, and we just all went to Vegas last year in October, around the time that they took their trip to Cabo. We was all in Vegas last year. He was with us and about 10 of my cousins. We all out there having a good time.
And he wasn't funny, acting strange, or
no, he wasn't. And to be honest with you, I liked Quilla.
Yeah.
He didn't show it. You wouldn't have thought him to be that malicious. You wouldn't have took him to be that. Yeah. And I think that's more fucked up than anything, because I kept saying, you know, my cousin kept saying, no, something ain't right about that. And I kept saying, I don't think that dude would do that.
Yeah.
And damn, there it is. Clear as day. And I know I've seen people say, when my mama do her interview, she ain't showing no type of emotion. She ain't crying. What crying gonna do? Them motherfuckers came over here and cried. They boo-hoo tears.
Wow.
And they murdered her. So what crime? You seeing somebody cry, what does that fucking mean nowadays?
It don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing. My mama breaks down every night. We both in here fighting through this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't supposed to get on TV and show you that. We tired of showing you everything else. And then they saying that, well, the mama must be lying. Hell, my mama was fed a lie. So she telling you what was told to her.
Yeah.
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 People something else. And you know what? It's always our own. It's our own people.
Own people.
Our own people.
You said that. You said that. Your
own people. It's always instead of you trying to say the mama ain't crying enough for you. Damn it, when she get up there and do cry, then what? She didn't cry long enough?
Right.
She didn't cry hard enough, or there was fake crying.
That's
nobody
crazy.
have to show you their pain. You can see that in her face. She exhausted. We all are tired. Our life has been changed. And what I mean by that, it's in the public view.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing that can, it's been great because it has been positive. And what I mean by that, I got 100 of messages in my, I had to shut down my Facebook, take a break from it for a while. Yeah. I got millions of messages. I got over 3,000 something new friend requests.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I got a bunch of messages in my Instagram.
Nothing but love, right.
Yeah, it's nothing but love though.
Yeah.
So we to be honest, the love that the world has shown us has kind of made it, put some ease to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We go out in public, everybody knows us. Our life has completely changed. And I don't know what God they serve, the ones telling us that she should show some type of emotion. Our God is hell of a honey. We strong over here.
We strong. Come on now.
We strong over here. We got to stand up, and we don't want to do these interviews. They keep telling us we got to put it out. We got to keep her name going. We don't want to do these interviews. We don't want to. I don't want to be on TV. I did a press conference right before her rally, and I think I made 3 or 4 statements. Now my picture everywhere.
Everywhere.
Then they took the video and said that I said that they was arrested.
Right.
We don't even have the sense enough to go in and pull up the whole video. You see, you got to know that people sending out clippings and cutting videos,
cutting and chopping them
up.
Come
on, yo, we got to do better.
We got to do better, and it's just so crazy, like, you know. And I think it's these struggling YouTubers that don't know.
That's what it is. We know you get money for them likes.
Okay, I had to stop there real quick. Okay. Gerald Jackson is being messy. He messy because a lot of YouTubers called him out on his credibility. Like Only by Grace said that he is questionable in character and was convicted felon. And so he felt a little salty. Honey, do not interject your bitterness about what YouTubers called you out for and, interrupt this woman grieving, okay? Please don't. Please don't. Now, there are some YouTubers out there being messy with this story, and it breaks my heart, guys. My heart is so broken because people out here trying to make money off this story, and it's not about that. Man, just seeing the intentions behind some of these people out here are quite disturbing. Like what she was saying, no one has to show you their pain. They don't owe you anything. They don't owe you anything. This family is suffering. And like I've been telling you, if you've been watching my videos, I have been telling you guys that they're emotionally tired. And she just said it. She said, we're exhausted. They're all cried out. This mother cries every night. And you think she owes you something to get on screen and cry for you to make you happy? No. It's so painful. I just to hear this sister, guys. I'm sorry. Sometime I may have to interject. I will put the link in the description because y'all know I be interrupting stuff. That's just how I am. But it's to the point where poor Quilla had to shut down her Facebook because of just the constant, overwhelming amount of messages. People asking questions, people wanting an interview. And the only reason why they're doing the interviews is because they got to keep this story alive. If we don't speak about Shanquella and it gets quiet, then that means the federal government, the FBI, all of the authorities that are involved in this are going to start slowing down and they're going to be laxed in their investigation. It puts pressure on them when this case is publicized. So they're forced to strengthen up in the power of the Lord that gives them the strength. And they have to put on that face of strength, even though they're breaking down inside. And they have to speak with authority and passion in their voice to fight for Shanquella, because Shanquella could not fight for herself. So I am tired of people out here exploiting this young lady, using this young lady for a quick dollar. It is not about money. It is not about views. This young lady suffered on that video. You can't imagine the fear this young lady felt when she was thousands of miles away from people who truly cared about her and ripped this young lady's life from her because of who she was. So I am about fed up. I'm advocating for Miss Quilla right now, okay, for the Robinsons. People need to stop judging this family. Who cares how they grieve? It's not about that. Who cares how many interviews they do? I applaud them for their strength and ability to even do an interview, because I couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I don't know how. I would be in there crying like a baby, but they're strong enough to, with sound mind, to be able to speak, because they need their strength to be able to articulate what they're feeling and experiencing on these interviews. Do you think if they're on these interviews crying and unable to speak, how are they going to really fight for Shanquella? They can't. So they got to put on a face of strength, and they got to be able to articulate what they're experiencing so that it gets out to the masses, and it puts pressure on the federal government to do their job and not to sleep on it. So I'm going to keep playing, guys, but I'm sorry. Sometimes I may stop when I get moved to stop, but I'm just saying I just felt Gerald was being a little messy right there. So we shall resume.
But then you don't have to be negative about it or try to bring down somebody who's already going through so much. Yeah. Tell the truth. And the truth would be why the FBI haven't called nobody. Yeah. Why they haven't arrested or questioned nobody. Yeah. Get out here and call the embassy. Yeah. We don't put up all type of numbers for you to reach out to people, even them put up people emails. Yeah. Email people, do that. Get on your platform and say, people, let's make these calls. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah. Why are you trying to address something, trying to bring something negative out of it?
Exactly. And to sit here and talk about Miss Salamandra and everything she's going through, like you said, she don't have to show y'all no emotion. And if she did, you still will have something to say.
You still have something to say.
You don't know what they are going through or how many tears she have cried behind closed doors. Do you not think that when this family is trying to do interviews that they trying to stay strong so they can get out what they're trying to say so you can understand them? I mean,
you know how many times we've had to stop an interview and we'll start that over. We got to get ourselves together.
Yeah.
They don't realize that because they haven't been through it, so they don't know nothing about it.
They don't know anything about it. They don't know.
Right. I put up a video the day of her rally. I was actually happy that day.
Yeah.
I had to dance a little bit. I got to find my happy place. I had somebody comment under there. It's too soon for that. Well, motherfucker, what you want me to do? Do you want me to continue to sit in my room and bring in this darkness?
Right.
I got to get up. I got to move.
Yeah. Absolutely. You know, people. They have tried everything and it's not everybody, because a lot of people.
Right. This is what I find disturbing too, is because people who haven't dealt with a severe loss like this and as violent to the magnitude like this, they try to tell someone how they're supposed to grieve. Like if you lost somebody, you're not allowed to go out. You're not allowed to travel. Some people have to do that. People grieve in different ways. We don't grieve the same way. So it's not fair to tell someone that they have to grieve in the way you want them to grieve. It feels like in the society, people think that we owe somebody something. Like what Delana said, this family doesn't owe anybody anything. She deserved, they're owed justice. The people who did this young lady wrong should pay for what they did. To the magnitude this young lady did. They showed no mercy to Shanquella. They showed no empathy to her. When she cried out and said no, it wasn't because she wasn't willing to fight. She couldn't fight. You could see the power of Dejanay, and Dejanay literally overpowered that young lady. Shaquella made an attempt to put her hands up to even try to defend herself and couldn't because of the power of Dejanay. Deja knew that she had strength that could overpower this young lady, and she used it to her advantage, and she had no mercy on this young lady. Period. So why are people focused on criticizing and further victimizing this family? Like Quilla says, take some time to encourage people on your platform or wherever you are to make calls to the federal government, calls to the FBI. You call them every day, because the more you call them, the more pressure they're going to feel, and they're going to prioritize this case. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. It's true. It never fails. That's why Shanquella's family is speaking out. That's why you see them have the pillar of strength when they're on those interviews. That's why you don't see the tears. It doesn't mean they're not crying. It's because they have to put on a face of strength in order to advocate, because squeaky wheel gets the oil. Call the FBI, call the Department of Justice, call the Secretary of State. Advocate for this family. Call the Office of International Affairs. Those are the entities that you need to focus your aggression and assertion on, not upon the Robinsons. And again, I'm not talking to anyone that's watching this video right now. If you're in the chat, this is not for you guys, period. Because I know people are thinking, I didn't do anything. No, it's not for anybody in the chat that's watching right now. It's for people who are victimizing the family. That's all it's for.
We stand behind y'all. You already know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Since you already know, I love y'all. And
you know, we love you. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be where it's at. Because the news would tell us, no, you can't say their names. No, you can't do that. I had that phone conversation with you. Names and pictures.
Everything.
Boom, there it is. No problem. And that's what started. That's what started. And people got to realize that too. They keep telling us to do that. If it wasn't for us doing that, nobody would know.
We would still be right.
All you know is that something happened to some girl in Cabo. Now look at all the stuff that you know. You got her name. You hashtagging it. We rallying. The world is the world is talking about it. Everybody is mad about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of that out of that, and you still get a group of negative people. Our people again.
Black people
trying to bring the worst out of it.
Try to bring the worst out of someone. And at this point, you put all that energy into this negative, put it into calling the FBI, ask them.
That's what I'm talking about. Do that. Do that.
Do something positive with your life. Let me just say that. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? And then this cousin, you know, I spoke to you about this girl who
I told you I didn't even know who she was. We got all kind of cousins now.
Like you done hit the lottery or something.
Yeah. That's another thing. Quit believing everything you see and what everybody posts. Exactly. That's like when they said, oh, she's been arrested. That girl haven't been arrested. Then you get everybody putting up, she was arrested, which that was good, but that was false information. Information. They not.
Exactly. And you have some of these big bloggers out here who are continually pushing this false lie about arrest. And what's frustrated is they're trying to coddle the situation and say, oh, you know, I care about the family. I do, but you know, we know that in general society that FBI and authorities always hide things from parents. But I'm going to just assume that they're arrested. It's a lie. It's been proven it's a lie. You cannot show any documentation that they've been arrested, and you're still believing it. And like Shaquella said, stop believing everything people say. This fake cousin floating around, people posting about that person was fake. The fake Winter Donovan, people believe in that. You gotta vet the things that you're hearing, because it'll cause you to be vulnerable and gullible. So Quilla is speaking facts.
not going to tell the media nothing that we do not know.
Thank you.
They're not going to tell you guys something and we don't have a clue about it.
That's what I kept on telling them, sis. I kept on saying, like, the prosecutors and the police, they are representing the estate of Shanquella Robinson. Okay, Shanquella's family, her sister, her mom, her dad, they are over her estate. So if anything related to this case, the family will be the first one. The authorities notified.
They are going to call both of us, and they ain't even going to relate the information over the phone. They'll have us come in.
Thank you.
They'll have us come in and tell us what's going on.
Exactly, guys. And I have said this several times, that the authorities, I'm an attorney. I know I litigate these cases. I used to be a criminal prosecutor. And so I dealt with victims on a daily basis in my career. And one thing that we know for sure is we do not release anything to the public, anything to news outlets, anything to the publicity, period. Not a news report, not a interviewer, none of them. We call the family first before anything is publicized. So if the family is telling you there's not an arrest, there's not an arrest. Because the FBI and the authorities involved would have immediately, as soon as she was in handcuffs, the Office of International Affairs, the prosecutors that are in that office would have reached out to the Robinson family and let them know. They would have already known before we even got notification. So that should have been a red flag off the bat that there was no arrest from the very beginning. Period. This man that spewed this lie, it was a clue that he was lying, basically, because he was applying Mexican law. You cannot apply Mexican procedure to American procedures. Now, initially, it will be private, very, very small periodically. From the very beginning, yes. But as soon as that person's arrested, they're going to reach out to the parents. They're going to get whatever their information they need to get that solidified. Then they're going to call the parents because they're the victims. And they're going to tell them, hey, there's been an arrest. We've arrested such and such. This is going to be released to the outlets. We're just letting you know in advance. And then it gets publicized. So Quilla just told you with her own words, they're not going to just release this information to the public without letting them know first. And yet still we are seeing these big bloggers out here pushing this fake lie. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the Robinsons. It's disrespectful to Shanquella Robinson. You're disrespecting this young lady. You don't care about her if you're lying. And you know you're lying. You've been corrected many times. Not y'all. Again, not anybody in the chat. I'm talking about people out there who are lying. They know they're lying. They can't prove it. And the parents, Quilla's telling you right off the bat, if she doesn't know about it, it didn't happen. Period. And it's you're frustrating and interfering with the grieving of this family by spewing a complete lie. So sorry, let's go back. When she said that, it just took me out. I had to say something.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yo. And then when this Mexican reporter had reported it, and I told the people there's been no arrest, and then Tamika Mallory told that people there has been no arrest. Then they want to get mad at him, but y'all have already said it a week before he even wrote it up that she was arrested. So she done got arrested 2 times. No arrest.
Now, right there, Gerald Jackson is completely lying. Nobody was saying there was an arrest until this Mexican reporter came out. There was an LA major outlet that said that misquoted and put an arrest on their tagline. And that was the only outlet the week before. And then right after that, the Mexican reporter Gerardo says there's an arrest. And then that's when all the YouTubers mistakenly said there was an arrest because of what he said. And they were relying upon him as a source. So I had to interrupt that because what he said was not accurate. That's not what happened. People relied upon Gerardo. You can go to all those YouTube videos and you will see them quote Gerardo because that's where people got the information from.
No arrest. Nobody has been arrested.
No one has been arrested in this case.
That's what we need to use these platforms for.
That's what we need to use the platforms for. Keep their face out there. Keep Shanquella's name out there, because Quilla, they are moving and acting like they ain't did nothing.
Oh no, I'm not even gonna say they living their best life. You know, at her rally, Sunshine Anderson got up there and she said it best, that don't nobody want to be around them, actually. They're not happy right now. They can't go nowhere right now. And if they are going somewhere or are going to somebody's job, somebody at the job feeling funny about it.
Sure is.
And they gonna let us know where they're at. And guess what we gonna do? Shut them down. Make them go back in the house. Make them go back in the house.
Yep.
Some of them probably ain't even coming out at all. They got their cousins coming out. They got their mamas coming out somewhere. They ain't moving. They sitting in the house. And then they done did what they did to my sister. What you think they see when they get online now?
Nothing but Shanquella.
Nothing but Shanquella. What you think they see when they cut on the TV? Because that's all that we see.
That's all we see.
That's all we see. So our grieving is hard. We can't grieve. We can't grieve until we get a peace of mind and we can actually log into something or turn on something and it's not nothing dealing with her.
Yeah.
I ain't resting. I don't know how long. I don't even sleep.
Yeah.
Somebody told me I look good for what I going through. I damn sure do.
You do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All of y'all don't even look like what you're going through or what you've been through. That's how you know God is good. That's how you know
That's why I say our God is hell of a honey.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And you know, I had put up a posting because, you know, sources spotted Elise yesterday down there at her job up there in High Point. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I've heard about it, and actually, some things that do go out, people reach out to me, and I know you told me some stuff on it, but and I seen that people went into the into the reviews.
Yeah, shut them down. I called.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, and I called Quilla, and the lady was like, "We understand everybody's concerned. I'm gonna get it over and to another department," and they transferred her to his voicemail, and I laid they ass out. I said, I don't know who over this, who run this, who the doctors is, and who ain't the doctors, but y'all have a mother, you know what I'm saying, possible accomplice to murder working for y'all, and she don't need to be there. If we got to schedule appointments to fill up y'all calendar for nobody to show up, we gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
We'll do it.
Baby, it's justice for Shanquella Robinson, and it's fuck everybody else. Excuse my language, sis, but you know, it's fuck everybody else for me.
I already know.
And it's just crazy, you know. And I remember when I first spoke to y'all, and Khalil kept coming over, and then he would, you know, I guess when y'all would bring up the conversation about Shanquella, he'll start sweating and grabbing his beard.
You would, you know, now we can look back, you know, when something done happened, you can look back and say, that's why he was doing that. That's why they was doing this.
Yeah.
He would be in here sweating and pacing and pulling his beard and to be honest, now that I think about it, you'd think he was coming down off of something. You know what I mean? And the first thing I thought that, okay, it might be because he's seen her death. You know what I mean? Not thinking that he was part of it or caused it.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So it's so much. It's so much stuff, and it's so much that I want to know, and we would never know until one of them start talking. I'll be brought in for questioning because I want to know what happened, how it went from this to that. Why is you out there? Why are y'all out there fighting her? Why is she naked? You know, I can only go off of how I know she knew that she slept. She was sleep naked. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff I want to know. And when I seen that video, man, that did something to me. I know. It made me wish that I was there because I'm the motherfucking fighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and my sister is not a fighter.
Right. And you know what? Just for them, like, why did Khalil bring them over there? Like, did he say, "Oh, I'm gonna bring them over here," or they
Well,
just showed up?
we wanted to talk to them. We wanted to know
Okay.
what the girls at. Well,
Right.
you know, and we was thinking death done happen. Why haven't they came by the house and
Right.
paid their respects?
Right.
That was more of what that was. And
Right.
and then we wanted to know what was going on, because we got phone calls saying, no, it was no alcohol poisoning. They was fighting her. They was over there jumping on her. And we got all kind of phone calls. I don't even know. And some people we didn't even know.
Right. So whoever was over there or who was on that FaceTime,
they got back and started talking. That's the problem with this generation. You know, you pull out your phones to film everything.
Yeah.
And that's what did it. And we just waiting. It's got to be another part to the video, because that didn't cause her death.
That's what I would say. That's why I
So
was like,
it's got to be something else lingering around.
Yeah.
And it's to the point, like, dog, did they throw her down some stairs? Did they throw her out the balcony? How in the world can her neck be severed from her spine?
Yeah. Right.
You know, even if she would have, and what people say, even if my sister was to have survived that, she'd been paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was they doing? And then she looked sluggish in the video to me.
Yes. Like
she didn't look like when you fighting and your adrenaline is pumping.
It's
you know
pumping.
what I mean? She moved slow. She put her hands up on her head to pull her hair back. It wasn't no speed to it.
None.
So damn, was it a hangover? Was she drugged? It's a lot of stuff and a lot of questions that we have, and I'm pretty sure everybody else do that haven't been answered yet.
Wow, y'all, wow. And that is an observation that a lot of people have been asking, but it's powerful when you hear it from her sister, because her sister knows her demeanor. She knows how Shanquella operates. So the fact that she was able to see that something was off about Shanquella, that she was sluggish, there was no speed to her movements. My theory was that she probably just woke up and went out of a deep sleep. But what if she was coming from a hangover or had been drugged the night before? Something was pretty much off about that video. What was really going on? Like, this sister, like, so Quilla's really bringing out some key things. Because, you know, a lot of people saying in the chat, was she drugged? Was she something off about her because of the sluggishness? But when you hear from her sister, though, that to me is more persuasive, in that her sister has known Shanquella for her entire life. She's known Shanquella for 25 years. So if she's able to identify something's off about her sister, y'all, I think there's something more sinister to this story than we even know. And what's even disturbing about this, which I'm going to show you guys some videos later, these Cabo 6 people, some of them are living their life like it's golden. They're living their best life. I mean, there's pictures, there's a video that I'm going to play for you later on, where Khalil is out with his little pistol, just chilling like nothing ever happened. Elise is working her same job. She's, still employed, doing her thing. And there's rumors too that Dejanay still has her job at Blue Rhino. That's a rumor. So it's like these people just chilling, like nothing ever happened. That makes it even more infuriating, because they're not out here, hiding and cringing. No, they out here just living their best life like nothing ever happened. It's so disturbing. And that is exactly what Malik did when he came back from Cabo. He was out here soliciting these parties and making flyers for all these upcoming parties. It's like, this is our generation. But what's good about the modern generation is they wanted this publicity so bad. They wanted clout so bad, you guys, that they had to record it. And they sent those videos back to multiple people in North Carolina, which is why this family kept getting all these calls from random people who had seen it. It had spread like wildfire throughout that North Carolina community, because the modern youth of today want clout. And thank God that they wanted clout. But this is what's frustrating this family, because you have some of these Cabo 6 people out here working their jobs, still chilling. Nazir out here partying like nothing ever happened, out here waving his pistol around like he big and bad. And I'm gonna show y'all that real soon after this interview. But it's more infuriating because you're seeing these people out here just living their life like it's golden, while Shanquella doesn't get to live her life. Just frustrating.
And that eats us up too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
and
we
they got
simply don't know.
naked. Even if they did not cause or meant for her death, they was coming back to assassinate a character and to embarrass her. They was gonna put that video up showing that girl jumping on her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They had a plan.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They had a plan.
They had a plan. And what's more fucked up, her best friend, I'm not even gonna call him at that time. And the person that we know supposed to be her best friend is standing there watching the whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Lied to us for at least it had to be about 2 weeks straight. Maybe a good week and a couple of days.
Yeah.
And ever since that video been launched, we ain't seen him, we ain't heard from him. As soon as I seen the video, I called him. The people went to his house. They weren't answering the doors, and now they ain't even at that house anymore.
What?
I don't know where they staying at.
They done packed up and left.
They ain't there.
Quilla, I don't understand how, even like when you just said a few moments ago, even if they did not mean to kill her, right? The best friend standing there watching. Why didn't y'all just come back, or at least Khalil? Now, Nazir, he said he got there late. He went there when everything happened. So, but Khalil, why you just didn't come back and say, Mom, sis, listen, this girl was over there jumping on. You know why? Because y'all would have been like, well, why the fuck you didn't jump in? Why you didn't stop it? And then with Nazir, you say you got there late. You say you weren't there when everything with the fight allegedly happened. But this is your friend of 9 years. This is your friend, and you've been posting about her. But not one time did you come back to Charlotte when you fled back out from Cabo back to
until he came and told the truth.
Why you ain't coming?
Everybody now is accessory to murder.
Yes.
And there's no way in hell that he should have walked in that situation. I don't care how late he got to that situation. Right. He had to see something was wrong. Her neck was broke.
Yeah.
She's not moving. If you paralyzed from your waist down, ain't nothing moving on you. Then you got to think that my sister had a knot on her head. Her eyes were swollen. Her lips were split. We didn't even know if we was going to be able to have an open casket for her. They had to get all of that under control. So he had to see all of that. And that's when I say, I don't know what the fuck Mexico was thinking about, or their authorities over there. They dropped the ball on that.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. I did not know that detail, that her injuries, Shanquella's injuries, were so gruesome. They didn't even know if they were going to have an open casket. My gosh. It's like every day is something more gruesome than the day before. We knew about the young lady's injuries. We knew that. But I did not know the injuries were that gruesome that they couldn't even cover it up with makeup. They were contemplating, would they or should they have an open casket? That is a very severe beating this young lady went through. And it was probably way more than what we saw on the video footage, guys. We didn't get to see the whole thing. We don't know what happened after that video shut off. We got a little clip of what this young lady went through, man. Lip was split. Okay, we heard her lip was swollen. I didn't hear, maybe y'all can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. I did not hear that this young lady's lip was literally split. My gosh, poor Shanquella. And think about this sister. She said, I'm the fighter. I wish I was there. And she has to keep seeing this video wishing she could have been there to fight for this young lady, this sweet, precious young lady. This made me want to go fly over there and fight somebody. Like, really? What they did to her for no reason at all. I don't care what reason they claim they had. It wasn't justified. Wow. Contemplating whether they were going to have an open casket. That took me out, man.
There's no way that they should have been able to leave and come back into the States. No way. No way.
No way. That's what I'm like, how you don't see that? How you not see that? And then check this out, right? You remember there was a video that I posted up and it had SHANQUELLA laying in a hammock, right? Yeah. I don't know if people saw this, but in the fight video, right? If you watch it, you will see a hammock outside right there, like just outside the window. Like if you watching the fight video, you will see a hammock out there. I don't know how many hammocks that they had out there, whatever. But obviously he was in her room if she was in that hammock that's right outside her bedroom where she was, where the fight, happened at.
That night, it was dark. I seen that clip.
You saw that clip. What did you think about Khalil saying, "We have our first dead body. She threw for." Have you ever heard that it be a slang since you've been living?
No, I don't. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
I want to say I have though, but no.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be something when you get drunk, I guess these kids say.
Right. Yeah, that's what people were saying. And I'm like, I ain't never heard. Now I heard people say, she threw for, or
yeah, that was something to say, and then she ended up coming up dead though, right?
Right. And that was my purpose of actually putting it out there, because I'm like, but then she winds up dead. How, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, people's like, well, why did he have her phone? I mean, they were best friends. They're
best friends. Yeah, he knew her code to her phone.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my gosh, yo, like, but that was crazy. Now, we saw a picture with a guy with a pink suit on and a boy. I remember I'm sure you remember when I reached out to you about that.
Yeah.
Just to clear up stuff from your mouth, sis, that's SHANQUELLA'S godson, right?
Yes, that's her godson and the daddy of that child.
Right. Because you know how social media is. Oh,
dark skinned dude with dreads. That's his father of her godchild.
Right.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend at the time of her passing don't have no social media. He
don't have a social media page. No.
Right. Okay.
And another thing, I get a lot of people ask me about my mama Instagram account. That Instagram that you guys are I think it got over 20-something thousand people following it.
30-something now.
Oh, is it? That is not my mother.
Exactly.
So, guys, that's when I say we got to be smarter than what we are, man. My mom current Instagram account, you got to ask to be her friend. So it's not nothing you can just tap on and become her friend. That's not my mother. What was the name of that Instagram account?
Salamandra_Robinson. And they got
that's
2
not
L's.
Oh, that's not her.
That's not her Instagram account. And that's what I was telling them. And I was telling them also that from the accounts that we have of everyone that was on that trip, we only know that Nazir is the only one that has spoken out. Okay, officially, right? Because of his video. So I mean, they got this page of Elise and they got this page of Dejanay, and we like, that's not even their Instagram.
I don't even think they don't shut down all this stuff.
Yeah. And
they don't shut down stuff and change phone numbers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we have their original IG accounts, and none of them that people are sharing are them.
That's not it.
Like, y'all are so gullible. Like, I can make a page of Elise and y'all gonna believe it's her.
Yeah, they're gonna believe it's her.
You know what I'm saying? And because they can't find like voices of them or something, it's easy for any girl to get online and say, hey, I'm Winter. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what Winter really sound like. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, y'all. Y'all are so gullible. People out here really believe that that was Winter Donovan. The other lady who claimed to be the cousin, they believe her. You guys, if you don't see these individuals' physical face on a live speaking, it's not them. It's not. There's a lot of people that are desperate for attention out there. It's very sad that they will choose a tragedy of this grandiose scale to try to get attention because they're lonely in their life. But there's people out there that will do it, or they're desperate for money because they try to use this story to get followers. The only person that has spoke out, y'all, is Nazir and his mama, allegedly. Okay, allegedly. So y'all got to do better. Stop believing every little person out there who claims to be somebody. Even that girl who claimed to be Winter Donovan, she had a New York accent. Come on now. So that sound like she from Brooklyn. Come on, y'all. Y'all do better. And Salamander, most of these people don't have their full name. If you see an account that has the full name like Nazir Wiggins or Salamander Robinson, it's fake. People don't usually put their full-fledged government name. They'll put like something else. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all too gullible. Too gullible. I just had to say something about that because I've seen too many people believe in these lies.
Or what have you. So it's just the misinformation that has been going out there. That is really, really, really just sad. You know what I'm saying? And this family are looking for answers, and they're looking for the truth and what happened. Have you heard about the bull jives and theories and stuff like that? We don't even know what happened.
No, I heard that we're supposed to have a Lifetime movie coming out too. My God. I've seen a video where somebody got her dad up, got my mom up, then they got who's supposed to be playing their parts. Like, come on, man.
And ain't nobody from Lifetime contacted y'all.
Nobody told us anything unless they doing it on their own.
Doing it on their own, which would be very disrespectful.
And whoever put that up, it's a young black female. I believe that was her talking, and like, there we go again, our people. The white people ain't doing nothing like this. It's all the black people. I haven't seen none of them do anything like that.
I ain't seen them either. I already told them if I don't post, and let me just be clear, because I wanted to clear this up, sis. Yeah. I am not y'all spokesperson, okay? I'm baby, listen, y'all already go talk to Miss Tamika Mallory. Shout out to Tamika, okay, Miss Mallory. But I'm just a independent news media outlet that is giving
that
them
has helped us.
Yes.
You helped us. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And to give y'all that platform, because when we spoke, that was the first thing, like, oh, we can't see the names. Y'all had the names, and then it was like, I'm gonna find their pictures. That's what I told you.
Yeah, you did.
And I found their pictures, and we put it out there because everybody need to know who these people are that was over there with Shanquella, and there was no reason that she should not be alive and back over here in Charlotte right now.
At home, living her life, living her best life, because that's what she was doing.
Living her best life, slaying heads. Yes. I mean, some of y'all didn't even get no, look, you ain't getting no man until Shanquella did your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Now, some of y'all out there in Charlotte already know if it weren't for Miss Shanquella Robinson, you would still be running around here looking like Harpo.
She did a lot of young kids, children hair. Yeah. Okay. Braids. She did a couple adults though.
Yeah. Well, them couple adults that she did, sis, they know
they know.
Man, without Shanquella.
And the kids miss her. Oh. It's sad. It's a hard thing. It's just not good. And I hate she went over there. She didn't need to go on that. There was one trip she didn't need. And what I mean by that next Thursday, we had a family trip we was going on.
Wow.
Like, I mean, she wasn't turning down no trip. That's what she loved to do. She wanted to travel. When she came up, the last time I seen her had to be that Thursday, because I believe they left that Friday. Yeah. She came and got a bag from me to carry. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I said, I didn't even know nothing about the trip. Actually, I said, where y'all going? And she said she's going to Cabo. She's going with Quilla. And she said, Quilla, I didn't have no reason to feel no type of ill way about it. I thought I knew him. I said, okay, well then y'all have fun. I said, when she told me she was going to Cabo, I was like, dog, I said I wanted to go there for my birthday. And she was like, let's go. She was like, she'll go again when we get ready to go for my birthday. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, sis was like, Glorilla, let's go.
Yeah, she said, let's go.
Oh my God. And I know you miss your sister so
I do. Our little
much.
conversations. And if the last couple of videos I put up for her, you can hear her say, you aggravating. You aggravating. That's what she used to always tell me, because I made it my business to aggravate her. But she loved it, you know?
Yeah.
She'd be like, hey, girl. And I'd be like, hey, boo.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just, you know, I didn't go clubbing with them because it's a good, I didn't party with her or nothing like that. I'm more like a mom/sister because it's a good 19 years in between us.
Mm-hmm.
She's only a year older than my son.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was my baby.
Was Shanquella your only sister?
That's my only sister, yeah. But
wow. And you know, just sitting here, you know, talking to you, you know, I think about my brother, you know, like that's my dog. That's him, me, my mom. We all we got. You know what I'm saying?
You're right, yeah.
And
I was just telling her, I said, man, we need to start doing more stuff with mom. Like she like it when we all together, me, her, and my mom.
Yeah.
And look at this, because I'm telling her this because mom getting older.
Yeah.
And look at this.
Yeah.
Man, guys, this is so sad. Oh, I'm emotionally drained. This was her only sister, 19 years apart, 1 year older than her son. And she was like a mother/sister. And the sad part is they had a planned trip a week later, family trip. Man, I bet they had to cancel that family trip after this tragedy. Her only sister taken from her, Bernard, his only child. A child he had future plans for. He planned out this young lady's life. A hope, a future. He invested his soul into his baby. Man, guys, there's some evil people out there. Very evil, cold people. And what really took me out is the fact that the kids that she braided their hair for, they're missing her. Man, that is sad. Those little kids missing Shanquella, her sweet nature, her bubbly, bouncy, happy spirit. They took this girl away from so many people that love her. And they're going about their life like nothing ever happened, working their same jobs. Nazir out here living his best life with his little pistol in his hand, laughing and smiling. This is frustrating. So instead of people out here complaining about how much they crying or lack thereof, people need to be getting on the phone each day, calling the FBI, calling the Department of Justice, the Office of International Affairs, calling the Secretary of State every single day. That's what people need to be doing. Man, those kids though, oh my gosh, that's so sad.
Wow. Whew.
Man.
I know, sis. I'm just, it's like, who do you trust? And I'm telling people, like, people try to talk about.
I ain't even gonna say you got to be a good judge of character nowadays, because your own family can turn on you.
Yes.
But there's no way in hell, and what I mean by that, there's no way right now, or well before this, that my mom would think my BFF would do something to me out of town and not come back and tell her what actually happened.
Tell her the truth.
And her mama, I know, feel the same way. There's no way that she would think I would come back and tell her a lie about what happened to her child.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so crazy. Let me ask you this. I know Khalil had kept coming back to the house, and his mom would come with him too, right?
His mom would come. He stopped coming by himself. He would bring his mom. And that's that hoping no nothing happen, or mom come with me in case they know something now, type of stuff.
But did
that's the only reason I could think of.
Yeah, right. But did
for
she
one time though, he didn't come. She was talking about taking him to the hospital. He had gotten sick. Well, now we know why you were sick.
It was eating him up.
It's eating him up. I know it's really eating him up now.
It's really eating him up now. So the mom didn't even. You came over to my house, but you ain't called. She ain't called and reach out or nothing either.
No, shit. Why would she?
Right.
We'd be like, tell your son to go tell the truth. We need to speak to somebody. CMPD, the FBI. Ain't no need to call us if you ain't trying to help us. Ain't no need to send no condolence.
Yeah.
And your child was involved with it.
Yeah, that part. I would at least, sometimes,
You would think you'd been like, I would have tell my son, you need to go ahead and tell the truth.
Yes, and you would have thought
you need to go ahead and let them and let them know what happened to their child. Go talk to somebody, tell somebody what happened. Some go talk to the law, let them know.
Yeah. And you would have thought that that's what she would have probably called and said.
Right, because just like we saying that they good friends, the mama know that.
Yeah. She know that.
My sister done been on trips with his family and his mama.
Wow. That's crazy. And I just feel like I was saying, like, girl, you could at least call and say, I told my son whatever happened, he need to tell y'all the truth. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't even call and give that courtesy to the family. You didn't even stand that you even told him. I done told Khalil to tell what happened. I don't know what, but I'm trying to find out what's going on, and I'm gonna keep like y'all ain't do none of that. Mamas didn't do none of that.
Nothing.
My mama would have never. Now my mama's gonna cover me and stuff, but she ain't gonna cover me.
But some stuff is just no. Come on.
Yeah, some stuff.
And you see all this stuff going on. I'm sure she'll wear the video. Somebody done told her, a cousin, a sister, somebody. If you're not looking at nothing, somebody done told you something.
That is so crazy. Oh my God. So how was the rally? The rally was good?
The rally was good and much needed. I really enjoyed it.
So much love.
I really enjoyed it.
So much love from all over the world. The people are just, it's really
greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Appreciative. Yeah. We are.
Yeah.
It has helped.
Yeah. It is help. And we got to keep Shanquella name out there, and we got to keep this family lifted up in prayer, that God will strengthen them and give them the courage and courageousness to just keep fighting, because it's hard. I know it's hard. Hard. I don't feel your pain. Yeah. But I've stood by families and I've seen them fight. I've seen how some days it's hard to get out the bed. Some days it's hard to eat or to go to the gym or just to get out. You know what I'm saying?
There it is. I actually went to the gym yesterday and I felt good. Ooh, and I couldn't do it today.
Yeah, you couldn't.
I wanted to stay in the house and not do nothing.
Yeah. Wow. So is there anything else you wanna say? Want to add that we might have missed or something?
No.
I know, I don't want to keep you long.
No. I want you to call me in the morning.
I sure will. I love you so much.
Love you too. Thank you, man.
Yeah, no problem, sis. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, guys, this interview took me out. So sometimes we have to say thank God for the YouTubers and different outlets, because mainstream ABC News and all those big platforms, they're not going to give you a whole 40 minutes to do an interview and really share in depth the pain and gravity of things you're going through. They don't even let you mention names. That's why you notice, for example, on the ABC News interview, Salamandra never mentioned names. She just spoke and said the male friend, or they came to the house, because they're not allowed to mention certain names because of legalities, legal reasons. So she got to be really vulnerable, and this was just so sad. And another bombshell information she releases is that Shanquella actually went on trips with Khalil and his mama, his fake mama. Yeah, his fake mother. That is crazy. And that mom came over to their house. There she is right there. Came over to their house. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all. And was just sitting there fake. It's like, seriously. Didn't care at all. This Shanquella went on trips with you, and you sat there and didn't hold your son accountable. That is so disturbing and heartbreaking to this family. I couldn't believe it. So she went to trips and everything. And this young lady, and the fact that he came over there sweating and taking his shirt off, or not taking his shirt off, sweating and rubbing his beard, and then had the nerve, y'all, had the nerve to try to claim he was in the hospital sick. And when Quilla was saying that he probably was sick because he felt, or was sick about what's going on. No, he doesn't care about what happened. If he cared, he would have cared enough to stop that fight from the beginning. If he cared, he would have, when he called up Salamandra on the phone, he would have told her the truth instead of telling her a lie about the alcohol poisoning. If he cared, when he came to the house the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, he would have told her the truth. And he never told Salamandra the truth. He never told Quilla the truth. He continued with this lie. So in my opinion, he never cared, and he never had any empathy for this family or for Shanquella. Both of them going on all these trips together, and this man was fake. All along, he was jealous of this young lady's success. Many people were jealous of her success. She literally had it all. Everything that they wanted. Everything that they wanted. Best car, best clothes, best shoes, entrepreneur, successful in it. Everything she put her hands to, she succeeded in. This man was jealous because he couldn't do it himself. A Judas. That's what I identify Khalil as, a Judas. So disappointing. And that's how most of these parents were. None of them called on the phone to say, I'm sorry about what happened. All they cared about was themselves. Should be ashamed of all they cared about was themselves. They didn't care nothing about this family. All they care about is their own kids. That really tells you the apple does not fall. It doesn't fall that far from the tree. The parents are just as bad as the kids in this case. Winter Donovan and her mom should be ashamed of herself. Malik and his parents should be ashamed of themselves. Nobody called. All they cared about was their own kids. Didn't think about how they would feel if they lost their children. Just absolutely disappointing. So here's some updates, y'all, on what's going on in this case. Okay. Y'all are never going to believe this. Guess who people spotted yesterday at work at High Point? You just guess. Elise. She was over there at her job like nothing ever happened. She moving on with her life. No accountability whatsoever. Working at Iora with One Medical High Point. That's where she is employed. The job should be ashamed of themselves because they over here employing her knowing what happened. Okay? Just shameful. Somebody spotted her over there, y'all, working like she had never had a bad day in her life, like nothing ever happened. People just going on about their life. And Shaquella don't get to live. That is so messed up. This is how people are in the real world. That's how they are. One of the members of the Cabo Six was spotted today in High Point, leaving her job at Iora with One Medical. It's sad that she's still employed and she's under this investigation. Just sad. That's not the only person somebody spotted, y'all. That's not the only person they spotted. Nazir is out here living his best life. He think he's cleared already with the federal government. He out here just chilling.
I'll start.
Thanks for the heck all day. Man, I'm out here in Concord.
You aggravated. Don't start. Thanks for the
heck all day. Man, I'm out here in Concord.
You aggravated. Don't start. Thanks for the
heck all day. Man, I'm out here in Concord.
Just out here living his best life. Word on the curb. Nazir was spotted in Concord, North Carolina today, flashing an empty pistol, wanting the world to see that he isn't scared of nobody. That's just like, seriously? They're laughing. Like, this is nothing. This young lady lost her life, and this man is on here on the screen laughing, making a mockery of it. Oh, I'm not scared. Look at my gun. It's just like, come on now. This is just sad, guys. It's so sad. Access Denied said, did you say she broke up the fight and was still dealing with her sister? What if she's being threatened, or what if people know she had something to do with it? I didn't say anything, Access Denied. I said what was the allegations that are being released by individuals involved. I wasn't there. That video I was referring to was an interview conducted by Gerardo Zuniga, who alleged there was a video that he heard from law enforcement in Mexico that claimed they saw another video. But then later on, he changed his story to say he doesn't know if that's true or not. So none of us know if that's true or not. That was an allegation by Gerardo, and he tends to change his story so many times. We don't know what's true or not at this point. So Access Denied, I have no clue, girl. Somebody, or Gerardo said that, but then changed his story to say he doesn't know it's on the video, and he only knows what's now released. So he keeps changing his story by the day. So I would say we have to wait till we get some valid, credible information regarding the video. I wonder if she will get the Courtney Clenny treatment where customers yell and call out her. Well, apparently, Ellen, there are people actually calling her out. There's a lot of people that actually called the next day. There are some people that, let me see what people are saying in the chat. There were a lot of people saying they were going to call the next day and that they were angry about what happened. Let me read some of these comments here. Let's see. People said, man, on social media are going to mess up this investigation. Some people are saying they want to just let the professionals handle it. Some people are calling and blowing up the phone. Blowing up the phone and protest about him or her working there still. There's people actually calling Black or Blue Rhino, I think it's called, that where Dejanay's still employed. So there's people that are protesting, and apparently, you know, the employers are just not really too worried about anything. They're just kind of ignoring it and stuff. So that's kind of what's going on with that. It's kind of sad because usually employers, they will lay you off if they see you're in a type of investigation involved in an investigation like this. You wouldn't be working there until the case is cleared. They were all about to exit Cabo, no problem. Well, exactly. They're just living their best life, Miss Matthews. Like nothing ever happened. This is sad, man. Oh, gosh. Hi, Shelly. How are you, love? Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to see you. Yay. You finally caught alive. I missed you, girl. So glad to see you finally. You think he's terrified, Stacey? He probably is, but you're right. I think you're right. You're right. That's why he has that little fake pistol over there trying to act like he Mr. Big and Bad, because he's saying if anybody come toward him, he has a firearm. So you're right. He probably is scared, But still, I just feel frustrated that they're out here living their best life. Woo! Oh, yeah, like Kendall says, if we can't get Mexico justice, we need United States justice. Yep. Either way, we're going to get justice either way, but we need to keep speaking and put pressure on the government. That's the only way, guys. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. That's the only way. So if you really care about this case, if people are out there, instead of complaining about how much Salamander's crying or not crying, y'all need to be on the phone. Y'all need to be writing letters. Use your skills. Use your writing skills. Use your articulation, your communication skills, your investigative skills to be calling up these major entities that I mentioned: the Department of Justice, the Office of International Affairs, the Secretary of State, the FBI, definitely the FBI. You need to be on that phone every day. They need to get so tired of hearing from hundreds of people that they are like, okay, we need to really make sure we prioritize this case, because we want them to prioritize her case. When it gets quiet and we stop talking, then they start getting more laxed and they stop putting, emphasis on that case, and they may worry about other cases, because the FBI has several cases they're working. They're not just working SHANQUELLA'S case. So whoever's squeaking the most, meaning whoever's protesting the most, is going to get priority. So people, instead of complaining about stuff, people need to be putting pressure on the major entities that are involved in this case. We need justice. And for the final time, there have been no arrests. So I don't want to hear any more YouTubers spreading that fake news. Seriously. We will know. You will know. I promise you, you'll know when there's an arrest. It will be announced. It will be announced. And if it's not announced by the media, it'll be announced by the family, because they're going to be the first one to get the phone call from the authorities. Personally, they'll get a phone call saying such and such has been arrested. Okay. Exactly like Delana says, closed mouth doesn't get fed. So this interview, I don't know about you guys, but I thought this interview was very amazing to be able to hear more in depth from the sister. My gosh, the things that she said, though. Wow. Oh, my Lord. Ever since the video launched, never heard from Khalil, and he packed up and left his previous residence. They moved out, guys. They left. They moved out. Moved out of town. If that doesn't scream consciousness of guilt, I don't know what else does. And they recorded this video, like I was saying before, to assassinate her character and embarrass her. And the most devastating part about it, like what Quilla said, is that her best friend was standing there watching the whole thing, man. That right there was just, it was terrible, guys. It put the fear of God in me. It literally put the fear. The more I hear about this case and the details of it, Tequila's talking about the details, it put the fear of God in me. It's like, man, I'm not the same anymore. I don't know who I can trust at this point, because like she said, even your own family can turn on you. That's what Quilla said, and she ain't never lied about that. I have family members threaten to sue me for no reason, period. No reason. Family supposed to love it and adore you, own family. And when she said they were considering having a closed casket, that took me out. I didn't know that detail. I mean, they described her injuries, but I didn't know her injuries were that severe that they couldn't cover it with makeup or make it look presentable. They had to literally try to contemplate if they wanted to have an open casket. That means this poor girl was beaten up pretty bad. Oh my gosh, poor Shanquella. There was more of a beating, but we didn't see the whole thing, guys. These clout chasers that are online publicizing this girl's humiliation, trying to assassinate her. They brutalized her and they're going on about their own life, living their best life. Living their best life. If she had survived, she would have been paralyzed. Her life would have been forever altered because of jealousy. You can't afford you cannot afford to be blind or have an oversight for what's going on in this society. You have to have a spirit of discernment. You have to look at the signs, and you cannot afford to ignore the red flags when you see them. Because one thing Quilla said in this interview was that her cousin said something isn't right. And Quilla was like, no, he's a good person. She liked him, all that. But one of her cousins had a spirit of discernment and said something is not right. The cousin could identify that Khalil was being fake. And was really literally trying to tell Quilla, stop believing these fake people. They're not going to tell you what they don't want you to know. That cousin could see the fakeness in Khalil and identify it. You got to have that spirit of discernment yourself, because you can't afford to overlook things these days. My gosh, this is, whoo. And when Quilla said, when she really identified the fact that Shanquella looked sluggish and was very slow and moving, and a lot of people kept drawing that out and saying that, and people were identifying that, saying she looked like she's on drugs. Like tons of people kept saying that. And but none of it mattered to me. What mattered to me is when I heard Quilla say it, because Quilla personally knows her sister. They may be 19 years apart, but she knows her sister. She's like a second mother to Shanquella. She knows her every move. All three family members involved, the mother, the father, and the sister, all said that Shanquella sleeps naked. They know her. But what really stood out is when she said she looked sluggish, as if she either was coming up from a hangover or had been drugged. What if she had been drugged? What if the statements from Khalil saying we got our first dead body, what if that was foreshadowing their intent to get this young girl, spike her drink to the point where she's sluggish, unable to fight back? And then Dejanay had this plan, allegedly, in the next morning to ambush this young lady, because she looked like she was really unable to move. At first I thought it was like she had just woke up. That was my theory. I was like, oh, I don't know if it's drugs. We don't have any information about that. She probably looked like she had been in a deep sleep and just woke up. But still, now that you think back and you play it back in your mind and you think about what Quilla said, who has known this young lady for 25 years of her life, knows her every move, her every mannerism. And if you look at the videos that we have of Shanquella, she is very rambunctious and energetic and very spunky and very alert and very responsive in her interactions with the Cabo 6 individuals, or we say Cabo 5 because Nazir wasn't there at the time. So it was a huge contrast when we saw her on the 29th in the morning, when she did look sluggish. She did. I thought maybe because she was just waking up, but what if she had something else going on substantively going on in her body? What if they did drug this girl to make it look like a alcohol poisoning situation, but then they beat her, and then so that if she were to be tested, they could be like, see, told you it was alcohol poisoning or whatever. This could have been planned. It could have been planned. My gosh, when Quilla said it, guys, it put things into context, because it's different when you hear other people say it who don't know the person. It's like, okay, I hear you. I'm thinking, oh no, I don't want to implicate drugs because we don't know that. We don't want to implicate something we don't know. That's assumption, it's speculation, right? I'm looking at, okay, what if she woke up? It looks like she just woke up. She sleeps naked. It sounds like she's just coming up from a deep sleep and was ambushed and just like not all the way awake. But I don't know. Even if that was the case, if somebody in my house trying to attack me or something, I'm gonna wake right up. My eyes gonna be all the way up. If somebody in my house ambushing me, I'm gonna wake up. I don't care how deep I'm in a sleep. Okay, if my life is on the line, Kind of made me rethink that in my mind. Like, let me replay this in my mind a little bit. Tequila may be onto something, because Tequila knows her sister. 19 years apart, but still she's like a daughter to her, not just a sister. Man, and the hearing her talk about the details of what their family's going through. Sometimes she's okay, sometimes she gets stressed and she's okay, sometimes she's not. She's having those ups and down episodes, and she has to deal with people in society trying to dictate and narrate how she lives her life, how she grieves for her sister, how her mother grieves. Don't these people realize they're causing more pain to this family by trying to judge them online? It is sad. Like they were saying, I don't like to get on race and try to generalize race. I don't like doing that. I talk about it sometimes, but I don't like saying, oh, it be our own people and stuff. I really don't like doing that, guys. But Tequila's honestly right, though. It's sad that we can't really unify together as a culture. We're always bashing one another, tearing each other down, have a lot of jealousy in our community, a lot of division in our community. We never want to see each other be great. When we see somebody winning that looks like us, we want to tear them down. It's very sad. It's very sad. And until it changes, we're never going to advance as a culture. We just won't. We just will never advance. We'll continually be weak, because the Lord says a house divided against itself will fail. That's why we keep failing as a community. Instead of helping this family, people keep tearing this family down. People making money off this young lady, exploiting her name, making all these fake videos about arrest that's not there, confusing the masses, causing emotional stress on this family that really desperately wants to see an arrest. And then you rip it from them because reality is there's no arrest. This is unacceptable to make money off of somebody who lost their life in the worst way. Just to keep it real, I'm not making a dime, so please don't come in my chat. I'm not monetized. Y'all can look that up. It's public information. I do this because I care. My soul cares about each story I do. Every single story I do, I pour my heart into it because I actually literally care about these people. Sometimes I go to sleep at night and I pray. I was literally in tears the other day because I'm with the family at this point, because I'm like, I want to see an arrest. I know how long it takes. I mean, I'm a prosecutor. I know it takes long, but there's the human aspect of me that puts myself in the shoes of this family and feeling emotionally drained. Like, man, I'm tired too. I want to, when are we going to see this arrest? Because they out here living their best life. We got Elise over here working her job. We got Khalil out here. I mean, not Khalil. We got Nazir out here flashing his little busted pistol out here like he winning in life. When Shanquella is buried several feet under the ground, man. That's messed up, man. They took this girl's life away. They took her future away. Her dad had plans for this young lady. She was his only baby. He had dreams for her. He never gets to walk. He doesn't have another kid. He's an older man. He never gets to know what it feels like to take his little girl and walk her down the aisle. He's never going to get to have grandbabies. They took that away from this man. Salamandra, she never gets to have nieces and nephews. I mean, sorry, Salamandra. Sorry, guys, I got a little emotional. Salamandra, she never gets to have grandbabies from Shanquella. Tequila never gets to have nieces and nephews. That was her only sister, her baby sister, someone she treated as her child, not just a sister. But nobody cares about that. They just care about getting a click and a view. That's all they care about. So they're willing to put their life on the line, willing to lie to people just to get people to click on there and subscribe. That's a shame. And what really took me out when Tequila said, "You guys want us to come on the platforms and cry?" Well, the Cabo 6, they cried, and they still allegedly took the life of Shanquella. And I have to say allegedly, y'all, because that's just for legal reasons. People be like, "Why are you saying allegedly?" Because we don't have all the full proof. We saw the beating, but we didn't see the full thing. So we can't just go and just say, oh, the full facts. We have to say allegedly. So some people be in my chat talking about, why you say allegedly? I said allegedly. Okay, I said what I said. I said what I said. That is just sad, man. Quilla says she's exhausted. She doesn't have to show you her pain. She doesn't owe anybody anything. They don't owe you nothing. They ran this poor woman off of Facebook. It's so bad. That's sad, man. And you heard them. They watch online. They're watching these YouTubers. Quilla said it. She saw some lady online talking about a Lifetime story coming out and all the characters and who's going to play what character. They're doing that for click and views. They really made up a whole story, guys. Made a whole Hollywood story up saying who's going to be playing Shanquella and who's playing Dejanay in the movie. Come on now, make it make sense. Our own Black people trying to make money off of this woman's death. And the family has to see that. I told you guys this before, if you guys been following me. I said the family are watching these YouTubers. They watch this stuff. They go online. They're looking for answers. They're in a lot of pain right now. When you're in a lot of pain and you got a lot of time on your hands and you're waiting for answers because, of course, understandably enough, the FBI is doing their investigation, but they need to speed it up. I'm just saying. But anywho, they got a lot of time on their hands. And so what they're doing is they're searching for answers. They're online, they're on YouTube, they're on everywhere. They're watching this stuff. So it's like people thinking, oh, I'm just trying to make a click and a view off this family. And I don't care how they feel. They're not going to see it anyway. Yes, they do. They see every video on here. They up all night watching this stuff because they can't sleep. Because when they close their eyes, they have to see Shanquella getting beat over and over and over and over again. And Quilla doesn't get to go and save her sister. Because like Quilla says, she's the fighter and she wanted to go there and she wanted to handle things, but she can't. So to avoid those nightmares, sometimes they stay up watching these YouTubes. And they got to come on here and they got to see that. Just because you want to click in a view. I'm done. I'm done with these people. I'm done. I am done. This family has had it. It is so sad how YouTube is. People do stuff to get a click. Whew, sorry, guys. This took me out. It took me out. I'm right, Miss Matthews. Like Miss Matthews said, they become their own detectives. They are. They're looking for answers because right now they're not getting anything because the FBI has to keep things under wrap. And so they do become their own detectives. They're thinking, oh, well, maybe if I go online, maybe if I go on this YouTube, they might have an answer that I don't have. And they go on, they got to see this stuff, some lies on here. You see how emotional and it felt as though Quilla was a little angry. She's angry, especially at the Black community. Because it's like, that's a shame. We're supposed to be out here advocating for this family, but we always so divided and always trying to divide it and or be jealous or do something for our own gain. It's sad. Yeah, like Shelly said, people need to stop. This family is going through so much, and to have it in the spotlight and everybody watching their every move, critiquing it. Let this family grieve without the rumors. Exactly. Leave it alone. Just if you can't show empathy, if you're not advocating for people calling the entities that we need to be calling, like I mentioned, the Department of Justice, the Office of International Affairs, the Secretary of State, the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, you should be calling those people and you should be complaining to them about why they taking so long instead of complaining about the family right now. They have to do these interviews. Quilla said it. They don't want to do these interviews. Do you think they want to be on national television replaying this tragedy over and over again? Every interview they have to do, it's like they're peeling the scab of a wound off. Because grieving is already very, very difficult as it is. And then every time they go in an interview, so each day they're grieving, right? And they're trying to cope through it. And maybe they start doing a little small piece of healing, a small piece, because you can't really this is going to be a long time of grieving, right? But when they feel like they've made some form of progress, then they got to do an interview and it sets them back. They're back to the ground one because now they have to peel the scab over again and revisit all that trauma again, because these interviewers have to ask them the same very same taxing questions over and over again. How do you feel about this? What happened? Who called you that day? So they're literally reliving all of those memories over and over and over and over again, and they're willing to sacrifice that so that they can fight for justice for Shanquella. So how dare somebody try to tell them that they're not crying enough? Seriously? Show some emotion. They should be ashamed of themselves. I didn't see anything out there like that, but I have seen some people out there talking about, I don't trust the family. How dare you? They don't owe you anything. They don't owe you a thing. You don't even know them, talking about you don't trust them. I've been seeing some people's comments out there in the world, you know, the general world out there, talking about they don't trust somebody. They don't even know who the family is. This family lost a beautiful, precious jewel. I mean, the only sister, the only daughter. I feel so much pain for poor Bernard. Every time you hear him speak, you could feel the pain in that poor, poor man. And he repeatedly says on every interview, that's how you know somebody's telling the truth. If you want to know who's telling the truth and credibility, look at Bernard versus Gerardo. Bernard never changes his statement. He never changes it. Every statement he says over and over again, I don't get to walk her down the aisle. I don't get to see her get married. I don't get to have grandbabies. I raised her this way. That's how you know that is a man of character who is truly grieving. So people need to stop with this whole, oh, I don't trust. I don't care what you trust. If you don't trust, go sit down and be quiet somewhere in a corner, but don't come and intermeddle in this family's pain right now. If you're not going to help and if you're not going to advocate for this family, go sit down and be quiet, please. Because we need people out here advocating and fighting for this family each day until we hear there's an arrest and multiple arrests. And until there's justice, we need to keep speaking out, because if we don't, the case goes stale and FBI just puts it in the back of their filing cabinet and focus on other cases, because you know they got thousands of cases on their desk right now. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, y'all. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. So I need y'all to start squeaking. I need everybody in my chat, all the subscribers, to start squeaking. I need you guys to put in your schedule that every day you're going to be calling those major entities to ask what's going on with the case, what's the status, when are we going to see arrests. Ask them every day. I don't care if they say they don't have information. Each time you call, you're putting pressure on them. I am telling you, I've seen it happen over and over again. When people are the one that's the squeakiest, they always get outcomes. They always get what they ask for. So that's what I want to see more of. I don't want to see anybody in my comments getting rude, giving me an attitude. Take that attitude and call up the FBI, okay? Write the FBI. I know a lot of you guys are good writers out there. Y'all write a whole thesis in my comments section. Take that skill and write you a thesis to the FBI. Write you a thesis paper to the federal government. Write you a thesis paper to the Secretary of State, because the Secretary of State makes the final determination at the end of the day, whether or not there will be an extradition or not. Okay? All right, guys, so I could talk y'all all day long. Y'all have a wonderful night. I love all of you so much, and take care. And I wasn't snapping at anybody. I wasn't snapping at anyone in my chat. None of my subscribers. None of this relates to anyone that is on this platform. It relates into the general population, or whoever is actually targeting this family, judging this family. It has nothing to do with anybody in my chat, because y'all not like that. So please don't take it personal. I'm speaking generally to the masses that are out there harassing this family, that don't mean any good for this family, that are exploiting this family, that are trying to use this family's pain and trauma to make $1 or 50 cents or whatever they're trying to make. So it has nothing to do with you guys. I thank you guys for watching and tuning in, and just get out there and advocate for this family. I love all of you guys, and have a wonderful, wonderful night. Take care, beautiful people.